what if you could see the future health of your business, not just its past profits? Well, today we're diving into the Balanced Scorecard. It's an amazing management framework that does exactly that, giving you a complete picture of success that goes way beyond the bottom line.
So let's kick things off with a big question. When we're trying to figure out how well a business is doing, are profits really the whole story? I mean, it's super tempting to think so, but focusing only on those financial numbers can actually be, well, pretty misleading.
And that leads us right into what we can call the financials-only trap. This is that dangerous tunnel vision you get when you're only looking at financial results, which can hide some really serious problems that are just bubbling up right under the surface. Okay, check out this classic business dilemma. A manager, trying to hit a quarterly profit target, decides to slash the customer service budget. And hey, on paper, it looks like a genius move. Profits are up. But what's the hidden cost? Customer satisfaction starts to tank. And pretty soon, those short-term gains get completely wiped out by long-term losses. This is the exact kind of problem the Balanced Scorecard was built to stop.
So to build this clearer, bigger picture, we need to use what are called key performance indicators, or KPIs for short. You can think of them as the vital signs of the business. They're these very specific, measurable data points, some are financial, some aren't, that tell you how healthy your company really is.
All right, so how do we break free from that financials-only trap? Simple. We have to zoom out. Instead of getting fixated on just one piece of the puzzle, we need a tool that lets us see the entire board, all at once.
And that tool, you guessed it, is the Balanced Scorecard. Its whole purpose is to show managers both the financial and the non-financial things that drive success. The really crucial shift here is moving away from just obsessing over short-term profits and instead building a strategy that's sustainable for the long haul.
So what's the secret sauce of the Balanced Scorecard?
Well, its magic really lies in its structure, which is built on 4 distinct but totally interconnected perspectives. Let's break each one down.
And here they are: financial, customer, internal processes, and learning and growth. Now, the key is not to think of these as separate departments or silos. Think of them more like interconnected pillars holding up the entire business. Each one answers a critical question, and it's only by looking at them together that we get that full 360-degree view.
First up, the financial perspective. This is the one we all know, right? The traditional bottom line. It answers that classic question, how do we look to our shareholders? KPIs here are things like profits, which you might measure with return on investment. Basically, how much bang are we getting for our buck? This is really the end result of a great strategy. Next, we've got the customer perspective. This flips the script and asks, how do our customers see us? This is where we track things that directly hit that customer experience. For instance, a KPI for quality could be measured by a non-financial metric like the rate of defects. You see, fewer defects mean happier customers, and happier customers lead to better financial results down the road. All right, now let's look inward at the internal business processes perspective. The question here is, what do we need to be amazing at internally? Because to keep both shareholders and customers happy, your operations have to be efficient and effective. A fantastic KPI here is productivity, which you could measure by something super tangible like units produced per machine hour. This tells you exactly how well your engine is running. And finally, we get to the foundation of it all, the learning and growth perspective. This is all about the future, asking, how can we keep improving and creating value? It focuses on your people, your systems, your company culture. So you might look at human resource development, and a key non-financial measure for that is personnel turnover. A low turnover rate, that suggests you have a stable, motivated team that's ready to drive future growth. Okay, so we have our 4 perspectives, but just having them in 4 separate boxes, that's not enough. The real jaw-dropping power of the Balanced Scorecard is unleashed when we connect them, when we create this chain of cause and effect that actually tells the story of our strategy. And the way we do that is with a brilliant tool called a strategy map. It's basically a visual roadmap. It shows you, clear as day, how all your goals across those 4 perspectives link together. It turns a boring list of objectives into a compelling story. And this right here illustrates it perfectly. Just follow the arrows with me, starting from the bottom. If you increase employee training, that's learning and growth, that leads to increased sales cycle efficiencies in your internal processes. More efficient processes then lead to decreased customer wait times, which boosts your customer ratings. And what do better ratings lead to? You got it, increased revenues and ultimately increased profitability. See? It's a logical chain reaction, one thing leading to the next. So the theory sounds amazing, right? But how do you actually make the Balanced Scorecard work in the real world? let's talk about a few key things for success and some common pitfalls you'll want to avoid.
If you take one thing away about implementation, let it be this. It absolutely has to start at the top. Without active visible support and participation from senior management, any balanced scorecard initiative is, frankly, just not going to work. Leadership's commitment is what turns this from just another report into a real strategic tool.
Now, there are a few common traps people fall into. First, a lack of focus, trying to measure way too many things, or trying to improve everything all at once. That's just a recipe for chaos. You're building a strategy, not a laundry list. Second, and this one is a biggie, is a lack of follow-through. If these non-financial measures aren't actually used to evaluate how people are doing, they just become meaningless numbers on a page.
So we'll leave you with this final thought to take away. Thinking about your own work, your own organization, what's the one non-financial metric? Maybe it's customer loyalty, employee engagement, or process innovation that, if you really improved it, could truly change the game. That right there, that's the power of thinking with a balanced scorecard.